This is Cynthia, your TV host for Your Hidden Love Story. I want you to keep your mindset on the higher vibrational mindset so you can keep living your life and going on this beautiful journey you got. I can't live here without you. We need all of you. You're all here. You have all a special reason, a special purpose, and nobody can do it just like you. Hello everyone, this is Cynthia, your TV host for Your Hidden Love Story. We're on episode 2055 and it is about Ask Me Anything. Ask me anything about my story, my magic, my mission, my journey. Yes, that's what we're here to do. My main reason for going live on the show is I do believe that we have all been misled and misguided by our emotional selves, that I believe that we're operating from fear, doubt, insecurity, not whole enough, not complete enough as our go-to energy. And I really believe that's a lower vibrational energy that's not giving us much strength or much momentum to move forward. And I believe we need to flip that emotional story around to better, to be living in a higher vibrational energy from love and above, laughter, play, joy, happiness, peace and harmony, passion and desire. Come on, baby, let's get this show going and let's get your life a-going. I love saying that. So tonight's show is going to be just a little bit different because it is all about me. Yeah, my path, my passion, and how it all led me to Gypsy Medicine Woman and Your Hidden Love Story. So if you have ever wondered who I really am behind the scene, behind the cards, behind the camera, well, tonight's the night to be asking those questions. So, like one of the things, the original story, like what made me start my journey? That's a big question. You have a lot of questions. Good. I want questions. Just don't ask me what my favorite song is or my favorite movie is, because I don't know. So, but if it's about my path and my journey, that's good. Okay, what made me start this journey? I was sick with fibromyalgia for 15 years, and I was able to get myself well. And what got me well is actually being the healer that I was before the fibromyalgia hit, and after I got myself well, I decided to go ahead, I went ahead and started utilizing my skills to their highest purpose. So yeah, that's what got me started in this journey. I had no idea when I started getting well that it was going to lead me to a YouTube channel. I didn't have any idea that I would be where I'm at this moment of time, but that's just part of the journey. Yeah. Yeah. Often your favorite song is hard always because there are too many great songs. That's right. So anyhow, my turning point that woke me up was when I got well from the fibromyalgia. Is like I knew I had to share my story out to the world, because I felt like that we're all trapped in some kind of illness, some kind of something that's keeping us operating from this lower vibrational energy that's going on here in this 3D world. And I felt like once I wasn't sick anymore, it woke me up spiritually and emotionally. There were a lot of stories I had to flip, though. I had to flip the story that I wasn't good enough at being the wife that I felt like I was supposed to be. Maybe I haven't healed that all the way because it wants to cry, and the tears want to come out. But that's what was going on when I was with the fibromyalgia. I was always being told what I wasn't doing right, and I eventually just felt like I wasn't being that wife or that mother that I felt like I should be because of the it was supposed to be constructive criticism, but I didn't take it as constructive. Who's going to constructive criticize my life? So anyhow, as I was starting to get well, the cards came back into my life, which had been in my life at some time. So, and the first deck of cards I ever had was called Gypsy Medicine Woman. And I was always on the road. I've always moved around from one place to the other. And the medicine is the knowledge that I have to take those stories and flip them around to a higher vibrational energy. And I'm the woman that's going to do it. So we got a question coming in on the chat. So I'm going to go read it. And then we're going to go see what it is. Can you tell us how you got the idea for your YouTube channel? I love it. I love it. So, I don't think it was the Gypsy Medicine Woman. That's how I got the actual name, because the name for my channel, Gypsy Medicine Woman, has always been that. So it was from the first deck of cards I ever had. I don't think I have them laying out here, but I wish I did, because you would see there are little gypsies on that deck of cards. Let's see. Well, there's little gypsies on that card. It's really, really cool. So when I find them, I'll show them to you. I'll look through them for a commercial. So that's how I actually came up with the name. And how I actually came up with the idea to do a YouTube channel was one day I was sitting over at my mom's house when she was still alive. And I had this deck of cards that I was just playing around with, and all of a sudden I got this calling, because of the way I read was to heal people's emotional stories. Yeah, she is bouncing around back there. I could hear, I could take that emotional story and change it around, and I had the cards. So the reason why I wasn't reading cards, because I was with someone that didn't believe in utilizing tarot. And I just put them away just for keepsakes. I never even argued the case, but that's actually what got me sick, was because I started putting my talents underneath the carpet. But that day, I just had this calling that I felt like I wanted to go bigger with it. And so I talked to God, Lord, Source, Spirit. I said, hey, am I supposed to be reading tarot like online or something? Please give me a divine message. Let me know. And within a week, three decks of cards showed up at my mother's house. Don't ask me how, because I told nobody. They just showed up for me. They were like addressed to me. So that was my awakening that, yes, I'm going to do a YouTube channel. I had also been taking some courses. There's some courses I took. One of the courses was had to do with helping us heal from the emotional self. But when I took the course, it was like I already understood the course. It was like, hey, I want to be the coach. Let me do the teaching. I know how to do it. You can hire me as a coach to do it. But that never happened. But it was okay. But that's what that course actually gave me, the idea of the structure that I wanted to also share the emotional story out into the world. So and another course I took, in one other course, there was another course that had to do with building programs, automated programs. So I was kind of like putting all that together and starting my journey on YouTube. It took me another 2 years. Was it 2 years? I think 2.5 years. Then I had taken a TV hosting program which that's why I go live. It's like, oh, I get it. I know how to run my channel now, as I had this message that I wanted to share when it came to self-love. So I ran it like a TV hosting program, but yet I wanted to have the cards in it because I utilize the cards to heal my journey. I'm reading from my chat again. It says, oh, I love that you definitely have a soul calling to guide and bring out the best in everyone. It is a calling. It's a mission. I'm on my own personal design mission, but it was led to me by Lord God, Source, Spirit. So that's how I'm here, never having any idea. But then, again, I did just talk about that. So then one of the things that people ask me is, how did I discover the power of reframing our thoughts? Now, that's something that's been with me probably most of my life. Anytime any negative situation had ever happened in my life or in anybody else's life, if somebody was communicating their story to me that was of a lower vibration, that was pulling them down, that was making them sad, not feeling good or angry or depressed or not complete, I had the ability, I already had the skill, I had the gift to change their emotional story around to better. It was like they would give me the story that was like, oh my goodness, I'm supposed to feel sad, and I would give it back to them so they could feel glad instead of sad. So so that is, yeah, see, that's a gift. I got 3 dogs barking for that one. Yeah. So, another question people ask me, when did I first connect with tarot as my intuitive gift? And that was, I would say about 32 years ago. Somebody else was reading my tarot cards, and I was going, no, that's not the true story. I want my own deck. And that tarot reader actually went and got me a deck, and that is the deck called Gypsy Medicine Woman. And it's more, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in that deck, but then and Queen, it's a regular playing deck, but it has 21 cards, or actually 22 if you count the 0, so we got to count the full, right? So which the major arcana cards, they were all Gypsy, so that was kind of really cool. So I was able to read the cards back to that person, and they were like, they didn't understand how I could read those cards so accurately to them. That was the very, very first time I read cards. I got another question coming in the chat. Let me read it, and I get right back to you. Let's see. It says, you say hiding yourself made you sick. What would you say to others right now doing the same thing to help them get out of the shell of fear and holding them back who they really are? Well, hiding myself is what I did is before I had actually gotten married, I had taken a course with massage therapy. The only reason why I took the class was to get certified. It wasn't because I needed to know how to massage people, because I have healing hands, so I could massage for 20 minutes but be healing them in the process and be able to speak my words of wisdom to them in that 20 minutes. But he didn't want me doing that because he didn't like the fact that I did both the divine feminine and the divine masculine. And so I threw my gifts underneath the carpet. So if I know somebody that's not living, if they're ill right now, if they're hiding themselves that made them sick, I would ask them, what is your gift? What is it that's, different? What is unique? What is it that, you feel like you tried to come out, or if you did something that you felt awkward or weird, or it wasn't socially accepted? What is it that you're so unique with that? Or even if you're an artist or a songwriter, that you know how many people say, oh, it's hard to do that, you shouldn't do that, you ought to do something else. I would tell them, don't listen to the non-slayers. If that's something that you're passionate about, make sure that you're investing time and energy into it. But if you guys are already sick, what I would suggest is invest 5 minutes. Let's start off with 5 minutes. Let's put 5 minutes into what it is that you're passionate about, something that wakes up your soul. And then after you start getting used to those 5 minutes, I will ask them to start increasing that time from 5 minutes to 10 minutes, from 10 minutes to 15 minutes, then from 15 to 30 minutes. We'll do a big jump. Because the more you start doing it, the more you start to expand, okay? So that's what I would do with somebody that's already sick, that has taken their gifts and their talents and they have put it underneath the carpet, and they were not living to their true soul purpose. So, the next question people ask me all the time: what inspired me to do your hidden love story? As I was going along this journey, where I had already started my YouTube channel called Gypsy Medicine Woman, Divine started speaking to me in this very mysterious ways, and I was like, ooh, yeah, check it out. Ooh, look at this, And it actually, as the journey started going on, it started to include a divine masculine image out there. That Divine started leading me, kind of like getting me to bump into this person here and there. And so it was like became a hidden love story, and my story was so expansive, so much. When I wanted to tell someone about my story, after about 15 minutes of them listening to me, they'd say, stop, enough, because it was too magical, it was too cool, it was too out of this world, that they didn't want to hear anymore. That's why I started Your Hidden Love Story, was so I had a place to express some of this love going on. And let me go back to the channel and see what people are saying. Nimish is saying good morning. Hello, Miss Gypsy, and is your timing is changed? No, I'm just running a little late. Today is actually my Thursday still for another 2 hours. So, and Kiki, when someone tried to pretending, they are actually hiding. I don't know that we actually try to pretend. I don't feel like I was trying to pretend in my relationship. I just put away some of my talents. I just put them away. I didn't feel like I was hiding, but what happens, it is a form of hiding, but not really noticing that you're hiding it. You just put it away because it wasn't accepted. Yeah, I felt like I was with the man that I was supposed to be with for the rest of my life. I was in love, and when you're in love, you do silly ass things, and putting some of your talents away is one of them. Let's see, another question's coming in. What motivated you to write your book and give your ideas for doing your book and getting your voice out there in such a new and different way? That I really, 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 really love this question. The question that you're asking is, once I started being out on my own, I actually took money to invest in myself. Not only did I take emotional healing courses, and not only did I take a course called Own Your Own Stage, where I got to go up on the stage and be a guest speaker. Not only did I take some learning how to build programs in the background, automated programs. The idea, I took a course. This one was called, hold on, it's coming to me. It was called Coach to Fortune. And the Coach to Fortune gave me a course, a free course, Book to Fortune, because they said the best way to really solidify yourself as a coach is to get yourself a book written. So I'm going, okay, well, I took the course about writing a book, and what I found very, very interesting while I was writing that book was I had the book already written. All I had to do is go back and find where I brought it in. So I brought in the pieces that I had already written everything. I just had to put it into a book format. And so it was really a nice gift to be able to get the Book to Fortune course, which inspired me to write the book. So, and so that's right. So the book has been my foundation for everything I do. For when I've moved forward from the book, that's like gave me a foundation. It says this is what I base everything off of, is taking that emotional story and flipping it around to better. And I talk about, how did we get stuck into that story? How did we hide ourselves so well? And what do we need to do? What do we need to do to flip that story around to better? And time, while we're talking about that, let me show you the commercial about my book, and I'll be right back. And it's commercial break time. And what's she going to talk about on her commercial? Now, what's she going to talk about? She's going to talk about, did you know that Cynthia Toet, she's an author. She wrote a book this year called Flipping Your Emotional Story Around to Better. Yes, that's the book that she wrote, and it is on Amazon. It is an ebook and a hard copy, whichever you prefer. Go over there right now and grab your copy right now to see what it's going to take to flip your emotional story around to better. Okay, back to the show now. No, I was looking for that other deck of cards. It's right here. I just didn't see it. So so let's see what else is going on in the chat here. Yeah, I actually am in the middle of another book, but it has a little bit of hiccups about it because it is about my hidden love story that has happened in this journey. Because when I started Your Hidden Love Story, there is a divine masculine that's in the middle of my energy at that moment. Well, they're still in my energy. Rather, they think so or not. But and it doesn't matter. But because that person, really what I look at is I see why Lord God Source Spirit led me to that person was everything I do, from TV hosting. I'm not copying him. From TV hosting, it was something I was already going to take a class on, but I had elected out to, this was before I actually even started my YouTube channel, to going live, and just a lot of things. There were just a lot of things that were just really similar with, so, and they're like higher up on the ladder, meaning they've been in this field for longer, and so they're more, they have their foundation more in alignment. When I got together, I'm sure they'll always be ahead of me, but I don't care. It's not about them. What I see is how everything has lined up with myself and that divine masculine, is the different things that we do that are so similar. So that second book has to do with that journey, but I'm really careful. I know I've done some videos that I have put on my YouTube channel when it comes to my twin flame journey, but I'm really still careful about it because I don't want to be affecting somebody else's life, because they're living their life, and if they're following me and watching my journey, well, that's their fault, right? But I don't want to cause any heartaches or any pains or suffering in their journey because of my journey. But I still have the right to self-express myself. So I'm always extremely careful making sure I don't mention their name, what they do, or, I'm just really, really, really cautious about that. So I do have that book. Well, how did I come up with the name Flippin' Life Cheerleader? That's a really good question too. I really like that question. Thank you so much for asking. The class that I was talking about when I took the emotional class, that's when I would say something to, because I would have a coach that I would talk to, and the coach would say, "You're always saying flip it, flip it, flip it." So for a long time they called me Miss Flip It because I had this gift about flipping the emotional story around to better. So that's how Flip It came in, was because I took this one course. So every course I've taken has built upon my character, who I am. And all those courses were $5,000 and more, They were expensive courses, and some of them I had no idea how I was going to pay for. But, when you're doing what it is that you're supposed to do, Divine throws that money right at you at the right moment, at the right time, to make sure that you can pay for the courses that you need to take. I was just like, once I knew I wanted to take the course, I think it was within a week I had won like half of the money. It was a $6,000 course, or maybe a little bit more, and I had won half of them, 50% of the money. So it was my clear sign to go ahead and take the course. And I actually took that course for 3 years. So Divine made sure I got that money for 3 years. That's a lot. And I did not take a single dime from the regular money that was coming into the household. So it's really, 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 really cool. So how did I get Flippin' Life Cheerleader? Well, flipping your emotional story around to better came from that. Everybody always says, "Oh man, you're just my cheerleader. You're just the best. You're always a good coach," So that's how I actually got the name Flippin' Life Cheerleader going on. Thank you for asking that question. I appreciate it. And another thing people ask, what's been one of my most favorite or most powerful life moments in this journey? And that is when I actually met my twin that I didn't know was my twin. In fact, I didn't know they were even a twin until after, I haven't seen them for 3 years. but I didn't even know what a twin was. So, but there was within a year, let's see, April, and about a 10-month period of time, Lord God, Source Spirit made sure that we got to interact. We come into connection. First time was for 5 minutes. The next time, it was at this Don't Trip event. It was the best. How everything just fell into place to how I was able to go, how I was able to bring a friend to go, how all the money came all at the right time, at the right moment for both of us to go, including airline tickets, including rooms, including travel time. It just was all there, and including when I printed up the ticket, it said it was purchased at 11:11 when it was actually 5:36. So, just things just lined up. But that whole event, which I want to actually record and make a video of that, again, I've just been a little bit cautious because I don't want to affect anybody else in the background, because a lot of my stuff is on social media, and it has had a social media effect. I've had some haters. Yeah, can you believe that? I got some haters going on in the background. Can someone get information or schedule a life coach? Yes, you can go to my webpage. It's actually my name. It's at cynthiatoet.com, CYNTHIATOET. And you can learn anything you need to know about my coaching services. And what you do once you go through it and you see what you want, then the next thing to do is schedule a 15-minute discovery call with me to make sure that we're a good fit and to make sure that we're both on the right journey. So That's how people get some coaching services from me. And sometimes they just come straight to me through this channel. They go, hey, you know, Miss Gypsy, this is what I'm doing, and I just feel like I need someone to hold my hand a little bit. Do you have time to do that? And I'll go, yeah, this is what we can do. These are the days that we meet, and this is how much it costs, and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, there we go. That's it, Andrew. And let's see, what were some of my fears and insecurities that I had to overcome? I don't think I've ever been really afraid, or insecure. If it actually started to come my way, I would just go, no. I kept believing and trusting in my dream. I think the hardest one is I thought I would be making enough money from my YouTube channel by now, which I'm not. I mean, it's hardly pays me really, besides the fact what you guys gift me. Right now I'm like 40 hours short of that 4,000 hours of watch time, and this is me going live 2 times a week for 2.5 years, plus any other lives I do, plus any videos I do. It's just somehow my content isn't reaching the Google ads or something. I don't know. So that's probably one of the things that I have to just really not worry about it and keep going forward. Not worrying about it and keep going forward. So I guess that would be probably one of my biggest struggles. And one of the things, another question people ask is, how did I keep going when life tried to pull me down? Now, I have had challenge after challenge after challenge at keeping my journey going. At least every 6 months there is a challenge. It's like, rather I'm moving from one location to the next, which is the biggest one, or sometimes this last move, even though it's right here on the same property, I wasn't expecting it, and it just everything. There has been so many challenges. Let's see if Miss Gypsy can still keep going live if we do this. And let's see if we can keep her going if we can do that. And it's like, but I'm so confident. It's my passion. It's my desire that keeps going. So that's how I know I'm supposed to do it, because, 3.5 years, hardly ever missing any shows, not allowing any of the tornado moments that have happened into my life to shut me down in any which way, shape, or form. So, and, what's my vision of the future of my channel? My vision of my future of the channel is, to keep on doing the things that I'm doing with it, and for it to actually even grow bigger, so it's actually providing an income for me, that I'm not like wondering where the income's coming in, that I can trust and rely on it coming in. That's my vision with this channel. It's always been my vision. And is there a dream I haven't shared? To go bigger. There are some things that I haven't done that I would want to do, and one of them is doing some kind of mastermind class. I know I talk about it here and there. I know I'm really good at it. I've already taken classes on it, and I was the lead of the class, and of course I aced the class. And so there's and what happens, I switch from this name to that name to what do I want to mastermind? What is the subject that I want to talk about? So, and that's probably one thing that holds me back. And then the other thing is, what do I really charge for it? But if I actually sat my ass down, excuse me, to let myself hash it all out, then I'm sure I'd come up with a great idea. It's actually on my drawing board. So let's see, what's your here's another question coming in today, okay, from the chat, you guys. What's your biggest go-to to keep your positive when people try to hurt you, or when life throws you rough days? What do you do to keep bright and cheerful? What I do is, I always bring myself back home. Well, if somebody's trying to knock me down, I know it's their energy, not mine. Believe me, I've been knocked down several times on my journey. From all kinds of people, even people that love you so very much that want to keep you at the level that they're used to seeing you at. And, and it's not like it's even intentional. They don't even know that they're doing it. But when it happens, I normally take a really big, deep breath and I blow it out. And know that's not mine. I know what my goal is. I know what my mission is. I know my life purpose. I know I'm supposed to be here. I am 1000% certain that I have been led and guided by divine. I have not a single doubt that divine has been leading me and guiding me. So I'm not going to let one man or even 100 men or women come and knock me out of place, because when they're doing that, that is their insecurity, not mine. That is their behavior, not mine. And so I just I bring myself back home, and I don't allow their energy within my energy. So, and I'm already a bright and cheerful person. So, all right. Is there any more questions coming on in? We got yeah, and Naya Naya's been a part of this journey. Yeah, she goes, come on, hasn't anybody asked about my journey? You know, Naya's been my traveling dog. She's my gypsy dog, you know, and she has learned to, really tap in and tune in to know when something needs to be spoken about. Come on, Naya. It's okay. I'm talking about it now. I'm bringing you into the picture. Can't you understand? So it's really kind of neat to this whole journey, how I have also learned the communication through animals are so much more tapped in and tuned in with divine than any of us humans. And I can find that Naya knows the answer before me, and for me to trust and believe in that, it's like, oh, it became very easy. It became very clear. So, you have more? Okay, it's all good. So, yeah, so that's one of the uniquest things that I have found out about this journey, is how to really tap in and tune in with your animals. I mean, I was already tapped in and tuned in with my animal, but I didn't know that they were spiritual like this, you know. All right. How did you find out Naya had abilities to help you on your channel? Well, Naya told me, okay, I would be reading some cards on the channel, and right when the deepest truth was being told, the truth that maybe you might not believe, or the truth that you're going to go into doubt or fear or insecurity about, she would come in, she would start barking. And this happens so many times. It's like, Naya's keeping track exactly when somebody really needs to hear that's a yes card or that's a yes answer. So that's how. So you guys, yeah. I honor my story because it holds the power to heal, it holds the power to uplift, and it transforms. It transforms me, and it transforms you in sharing the story, and I give others permission to do the same. You know, my life has totally changed. You know, I don't even know. I want to say 1,000%, but it's probably 1,000,000% in the last 4 years, just because I took a risk on myself. I took every single penny that I had to invest into me, to invest into my channel, to make sure that, you know, I was in alignment to be in this position, to feel as I'm in an authority position, not feeling like, I don't know, can I do this? Should I do this? And to really step into my power. So let's see, we got another question here. Does Naya talk about her opinions on all your commenters or their solutions? I bet she has a lot to say. When I'm telling you, if somebody starts asking me something, even, and especially if it's something really deep, she'll come out of the blue. I've seen her, she'll be all the way, say maybe 2 or 3 rooms over, and she'll come barging in the door and coming right up to me and go, whoop, 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 like, because you guys really need to know. It's like, because she wants to get the message across extremely clear. There are times that she doesn't even want to be in the room because of whoever's on the other side, you know, she's going, I'm done with their energy. Can you just let me out of here? So she's my messenger then too, letting me know I need to have more protection around me, because and protection around her, or do more clearing or cleansing after the show. So she's really tapped in and tuned in. It was really, really neat to find her being part of this journey. Just everything has been really neat. How I've gotten close to each and every one. I've had some people, a lot of people, when they come in, once they start watching the channel, they watch it for most of the time a minimum of a year and a half. After a year and a half, they start to starting going off in their own way, which I anticipate that, because you start to grow and you start to be able to do this on your own, and you don't need to hear my voice all the time. But about a year and a half, I would say, is when, I'll have a flock of people, and about a year and a half, then that flock will drop, but I'll get another flock on in, and it's about a year and a half that you guys are really starting to get to understand what it truly means to flip that emotional story around to a higher vibration, where all this, when you're feeling, oh my goodness, that just felt like it punched me in the gut, and it's like, okay, what was that? I don't give that permission to be inside of me. In fact, I'm going to take a deep breath. I'm going to recenter myself. I'm going to ground myself. I'm going to push out that energy that just came in that wasn't mine. And I'm going to take the story that might have been said at that moment and flip around the emotional story or the emotional feeling going on in the background. So, all right. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Any more questions? Do I have any more questions coming on in before I end it? And thank you so much for all the questions that were coming in. It really, really means the world to me that you had questions coming in to help give me prompts, even though I had a lot of prompts, but I wanted you guys to be coming in and asking too, what is it about Miss Gypsy? What makes her tick? Yeah, just one more. Okay, we got one more coming on in. Just give me a moment. Just give it a moment. It's coming on in through the chat. And hello, Corona. I'm just right at the end of the live show. We were just doing Ask Me Anything about my dream, my journey, my my story, my magic, my mission. So how did whoop 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 become it? You know what? I don't know. I think I have this I laugh. You guys know I laugh all the time. I think it's a nervous laugh, but I don't realize it's a nervous laugh. It's a laugh that actually, it's just who I am, but it's a laugh that allows me to keep speaking and keep going. And so somehow whoop whoop came out of that. It's my form of a laughter. So you're hungry? All right. Well, I hope all is going well with you, Corona. I have thought about you many times in the day, so throughout the whole weekend, just because I know what you're going through. But I do see a lot of good stuff. I see a lot of good stuff happening for you. And let's see, any plans on a tour? Once I feel like I'm a little bit more financially stable than I am at this moment, then I can consider on doing things, going places, because I love going on events. I love doing things, and I would love to have an event of my own. Let's go to, let's say, Sedona and meet up for a week or something, or so I do have those plans for in the future, but again, I'm waiting for something to click or change. I do have some other ideas to bring in those finances too, so I'm not like sitting here with no ideas. It's just a matter of there's one of me doing all the work, and I have to pick what's the next thing to work on, and that is on the top of my list. So, and it is about there are people that want to help me to that actually have their organizations that would love to get this foundation rolling. So yeah. Your last question, just wondering if I am what? Am I magical? Yes. Do I have the gift to sparkle light upon you? Yes. Am I a healer? Yes. Can I heal from a distance? Yes. Am I connected to divine? Yes. I trust in divine so much. I have nothing to worry about. I don't have to go into fear, doubt, or insecurity. Confirmation coming on in. And it is because I lean on divine. Divine is leading and guiding me, my show, my dog, my life. And I trust in that. I lean on it. And divine shows me all the time. What's your last question? I'm waiting for it. What is it? I don't see it yet. That's my last question. That was your last question. I see that you're just wondering if I am what? Okay. Our little cheerleader, Naya. Yeah, she is a cheerleader. She's going to cheer for you right now. Naya, you want to cheer some more? Yeah? You want to cheer some more? She loves to party. She loves to dance. If I turn some music on, she grabs her toy and we start dancing. And I got to record it. She gets her little paws and she starts doing this little thing right by my feet, and like we're dancing partners. It's really, really cool. You asked it already. Okay, I thought so. So anyhow. All right, you guys, I'm going to end this part of the show. I will be back here in just a little bit. The show, great inspiration from Naya, she is. So, the other part of the program, yeah, it's already going. It's already there for you guys to join on in. And I'll be there shortly, so you don't have to wait very long at all. All right, you guys, I love you so very much. Until next time, bye-bye, butterflies. Catch.